So I was working with some dragons the other day, and I decided that I'd ask them the same questions that we've asked, like Mary Magdalene, Edgar Casey, Dolores Cannon, people like that. So the first question I asked was about the education system, and because at the moment I don't feel it's fit for purpose. And this is what I got through. I connected with a really wise dragon. Well, they're all wise. He was big, he was black, he had iridescent wings, and I felt that if he were human, he'd have been wearing spectacles. And he literally just turned up just to, because I had questions I wanted answering. So it's like, yep, I'm your person, dunk, 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 we'll get these questions answered. And he was very knowledgeable. So this is what he said about the education system. He said it will disintegrate and people will be educated from the heart using heart-based energies. I said a village of people will educate the children with a vast array, not like village people, YMCA, but a village of people will educate the children with a vast array of skills, tools for life based on the individual energies of the inverted commas villagers. So I took that to mean that people who are drawn or have information that our young people need, that they will be drawn to playing this role. And it won't just be one person as a teacher. Different people will have different skills, but all based on sort of heart-based energies. And it does actually say there will be no leader, rather a group of people who work together with the goal of educating the young. So I thought that was pretty interesting, really, because that's the way the spiritual world is going, isn't it? There's no leaders, there's no we need to look up to that person and they'll activate our chakras, and it's all doing it, we're learning to do it from within. And I feel that that's the way the education system's going too. And then I asked about mental health. I said people will be treated as a whole holistic person using their energy, and they said things like lack of nutrients will be measured and evaluated, and they will see what soul foods and soul nourishment they need in the form of light, outdoor experiences, energy, nutrients, sound, nurture and touch. So I thought that was beautiful, and the fact that there'll be a system of being able to analyse people's nutrition, and they'll just know straight away what's needed. And I love the way they called it soul foods and soul nourishment, and they included outdoor experiences, which leads me to think there's more coming on that. There's more in the future than we know yet, but it does seem beautiful. I didn't have long to meditate, which is why they're all quick answers. Then I asked about the role of the divine feminine, and they said it's to enable women to come back into their power. Women are forming their own tribes for support, validation and strength. Now this is the bit I didn't know. It was part of a divine experiment for women to lose their power for a period of time. It was meant to happen for humanity to learn a lesson, but the lesson was not learned. And so women now are opening up and going back to the way it was many years ago. So that's interesting, wasn't it? That women allowed their power to be buried for some sort of experiment to do with the patriarchy running society. I haven't Googled it to see if that's the case or not. And then I asked about New Earth. I asked them to tell me about New Earth. They said New Earth's about a shift in consciousness of individuals which has a cumulative effect. So people's thoughts, ideas, ways of being shift en masse to enable a new way of being to emerge. A system of belief and thought and way of life which is different from what was in your recent past, going back to early Lemuria. People shift, the earth does not so much. The veil between worlds thins to enable travel between the two. You can walk in one world and then visit another. And they said a wind of change is blowing. A wind of change is blowing in a world of enlightenment. I asked about gender identity as well. They said there are many genders and no genders. People just are. They can have characteristics at one time from one gender and like feminine, and then the next time masculine the next. There's no need to be hung up on the nature of one's identity. You just are. So I thought that was, I don't know, all-encompassing answers, because dragons seem to have got a global view of the world, and in a way I found they're more succinct and determined to give a straightforward answer that is like really black and white. There's no, oh, it could be this. It's not. There's no waftiness. It's this is it, and this is how it's going to happen. Boom. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.